YouTube world, back at it once again. Instant Classic 8. On here, like I said, I would be. Put my phone on mute. TNA pay-per-view just ended. TNA Destination X, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed the show. Probably like the show more than a lot of people, but that's just me. I thought they went out there and gave a really good effort. Pretty much, I liked every match. There was a few in there. I had a few problems, but mostly for a TNA show, this was awesome. 35 bucks for it, but you know what? I felt like I got my money's worth, and like I said, I really enjoyed myself. I'm running on the card really fast. Get this out of the way. Show opened up with Samoa Joe versus Frankie Kazarian. I thought this was a really good opener. They went out there, they bust ass definitely. I'm not really sure about the winner. Kaz went over. Definitely want to see Joe because Joe did most of the leg work in the match. I mean, he definitely worked the hardest in the match. Not taking anything away from Kaz, but he worked the hardest in the match. Kaz ended up getting the victory. Not too big of a gripe, just a small one, but hey, it was still a good match, which is what I wanted to see. Next was Doug Williams. He issued a open challenge to anyone, to accept for a match at Destination X. I personally would have liked to see maybe like Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is a former X Division champion. Either that or like Petey Williams or just anyone. But they brought out this guy Mark Haskins, I think his name was. Guy from England. Apparently he's been doing really good on the TNA shows when they go overseas to England. I have no problem with that. I think you could tell he was like really nervous. I think probably the live cameras probably got to him, but he messed up. He definitely messed up a couple spots in here, and just things didn't turn out right, and it was an okay match, but nothing to go home about. I mean, Doug Williams is a world-class athlete who should be having better matches than this, and I'm not going to put too much of the blame on any of these guys, but the match wasn't really that good. Next, we had I guess impromptu, or I don't even want to call it. It was a tag team match. Eric Young was backstage. He was looking for a tag team partner. They ended up showing like Curryman and I don't know the fucking Sin Cara ripoff guy there. But anyway, pretty much Prince Justice Brotherhood was all backstage. And then Shark Boy showed up. Shark Boy, he and Eric were a tag team against Jinmi. It was an okay match. Eric Young just, I don't know, was getting on my nerves. But the match definitely picked up at the end. Both he and Shark Boy did some really good stuff. Obviously, I think Jinmi should have went over, but they didn't. I guess you can make the argument that Eric Young is the TV champion. I don't think that belt means anything, but hey, if that's what you want to do, have at it. Ultimate X, Alex Shelley, Robbie E, Amazing Red, and Shannon Moore. I thought this was a really good match, not the greatest Ultimate X match ever. I mean, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of that match, but I mean, it was alright. The finish came down to Shannon Moore. He climbed all the way to the top of the little structure and walked to the middle and like kind of guided his way through the middle portion of the setup, I guess you'd call it. So it's just kind of an easier way to get the X. He was trying to go for the X, got knocked off. Alex Shelley ended up getting the X, so he gets a #1 contender shot sometime down the line. Chris Sabin came out there to celebrate with them. It's pretty cool to see that. Then we had, oh my God, Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn, you are my hero. You are amazing. This match was so sweet. I don't want to ruin too much of it, but I just say a chair became involved, and the last two spots with that chair was out of this world. It was so awesome. But no, the match itself was. It's what you can ask for RVD, who's, like I said, is a guy who really probably doesn't even care about wrestling. He's just doing it just because that's what he does. And Jerry Lynn, an old guy who's coming off back surgery, and this dude can still go. It was awesome. I loved it a lot. Like I said, it's pretty much everything I expected from this match, and it was definitely good. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for that one. Then we have the 4-way for the Impact Wrestling contract. Low-Key, Zema Ion, Austin Aries, and Jack Evans. Each of these, they cut promos throughout the night before this match. Austin Aries, he's He's just the best. He cut a promo saying, thanks to the people that paid for the show, for the people that stream the show, thanks for watching. I think he said, choke on whatever food you're eating or something. The guy's just the best. This match was awesome. Nothing else you can say about it. These 4 guys went out there and they tore it up. Jack Evans, I'm not, the biggest fan of his. I mean, he does a lot of spots, but in this match, he was the man. Like I said, Low-Key was really good as well. Zema, all these guys were great. Came down to Austin Aries. He actually won the match, so he has the title. The crowd was chanting, sign them all, which I completely agree. Sign all 4 of these guys and let them, see what they can do in the, just not the X Division, but see what they can do against the other roster in TNA. But this match was everything it should have been, and it was an awesome match. TNA X Division Championship, Abyss defending against Brian Kendrick. Thought this match was alright. I know a lot of people hated this match. I didn't mind it. Whole thing came down to both of these guys were knocked out. Eric Bischoff comes down there, starts yelling at Kendrick. Kendrick knocks out Eric Bischoff, and then Immortal comes running down the ramp to take out Kendrick. But Kendrick gets saved by pretty much the entire X Division. All the guys come out there and beat Immortal down, which is something that you really weren't expecting to see. I mean, Immortal, who they're building up big time, and all the X Division guys come out there and just take out Immortal. That's pretty cool. And then Brian Kendrick ended up winning the title. Pretty cool moment. Like I said, I know a lot of guys hate it, but I thought it was fine. Like I said, I really didn't see them taking out Immortal like they did, but hey, it was pretty good. And then the main event, AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. This was the worst match that these two had together. That's not saying. I'm not saying it was a bad match, because it was a really, really good match. I think they could have gone on a little bit longer, because I really started getting to it at the end, but then AJ hit the spiral tap for the victory. Like I said, this is pretty much like the worst that they've done together, but it was still a really good match. I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, I just wish it could have gone on longer, because I think they were really starting to get into the groove and everything. I think a kick out by Chris Daniels at the end will probably help with it. But either way, like I said, really good match. I love the show. Thumbs up TNA. I definitely got my money's worth. Not complaining whatsoever. If I had a choice, I'd do it all over again, honestly. But really good show from TNA. We'll see where they go from here. Till then, it's the Classic 8. Peace.